Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Negative Alpha Bravo. And this is 7 November Golf. Roger, request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out. 7 November 8 to 5. And 8 to 5, 7 November, say again. 7 November, go. I copied a while ago, 1 Charlie transmission that my thing used, and 8 to 5, this is 7 November, Charlie. 8 to 5 right now. Now 1 Charlie, 7 November, go.
This is 1 Charlie, reference to your last, you're Brandon 158, extra 5 stars, 1200 between teams and local. Also request your unit take ground records to see if we can try to get Whiskey 9 and 8 for pause to the playground.
And this is 7 November, Roger, stand by.
Got that.
Got it? Alright. And all units, this is 7 November Golf. My unit Alpha, Echo, X-ray Alpha Alpha in there. One Charlie, Alpha Bravo.
Yeah, I never took a dip.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9, Yankee, 7 November Golf, over. Whiskey 9, go. Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9, Yankee, 7 November Golf, over. Whiskey 9, go. Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Negative Alpha Bravo. And this is 7 November Golf. Roger, request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out. 7 November 8 to 5. And 8 to 5, 7 November, say again. 7 November, go.
All right, welcome to another live stream. I do not have my hat. I'm way too lazy to go upstairs and grab it, so this is me. Okay. You know what the deal is. Ask questions. I got some kids down here. You may hear them or see them. We don't know yet. No questions, no live stream. Starting it off strong. X777 says, I can't wait for the most common questions found in 38 in CFR 38. People don't read. I would argue that most veterans don't even know what 38 CFR is. Food for thought. Joshua Johnson, thank you for being a member. Thank you for tuning in to the live. I appreciate that. Rose City D. What's afternoon, Clay? How's it going? I was at the Richmond VA and somebody posted your website on a sticky note. I was like, cool. Hey, that's awesome. I'm in Virginia. My kids go to VCU. I'm regularly down at the Richmond area. So that's cool. Yeah, dude. YouTube. Oh, that's sick, dude. That's cool. Cool beans. How's it going? Thomas Vandercliff. Thank you very much. I don't see a chat from you, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Bobby D says, hey, Clay, thank you for all you do. Everyone, make sure you click the like button. Yes, that's something I am really not good at, which is telling people to like and subscribe and do all that stuff. So thank you, Bobby D's, for that plug. I appreciate it. Don't forget to join the Discord. Yes, please do so. Nuclear Chicken's our Discord mod. He's the Discord mod. Make sure everything runs smooth. Thank you for tuning in, Chicken. Nuclear chicken. What's the popular thing with the Minecraft movie right now? Chicken Jockey. I took my 10-year-old to go see the Minecraft movie, so he kept saying Chicken Jockey over and over again. Hey y'all, how's it going? Hey Clay, is there a big backlog again? My claim has been in step 5 since January 8th. Not a big backlog. I'll show you though what the backlog is, which is here. We'll do this. Okay, let me show you what the backlog is. I just did a video on backlog. The VA has improved, by the way, whether you like it or not. Here's the backlog. We can see it. You can see that there has been a decline, and that is as most recent quarter. So is there a backlog? The answer is yes. 272,000, I think. 232,000. This number here. So there's a backlog, but the VA is moving along, and we need this to be below this line here. This would be acceptable. Okay. Richard, thank you for tuning in. Says, got a decision letter that states my current 100% will be continued, but they are only showing 60% for pay. Nobody can tell me what's going on. Any ideas? Something's going on. I would like to see the letter myself, and I can probably tell you what's going on. It may sound like some IU stuff happening. Although, like, there are weird instances like migraines by itself can rate TDIU. You don't have to fall into the normal criteria there. So something's going on here. But hey, you're at 100% continued. Maybe cancer. That's another thing. Maybe you fall in that rare circumstance we talked about. All right, we have another donation. Thank you, Patrick. Good afternoon. Do you know how to go about getting an attendance roster or something like that from an old unit 15 years ago? I do not. Not at all. Lay evidence, like buddy letters, that wouldn't hurt. Personnel reports, safety reports, a manifest list, a muster list, right? Any of those. I'm trying to think, like, if I needed to get something like that, what would I do? I honestly have no idea. Depending on what unit you were in, do they have like a unit historian? Maybe. I don't know. But that's the route I would at least take. I know that doesn't answer your question. That's probably one of the worst answers I've ever given because I honestly don't know. I think it's very, very niche situation here. Call the VA or visit a center. Happy Sunday. It is Palm Sunday. Happy Palm Sunday. When Jesus entered Jerusalem, in case you're wondering, is Palm Sunday. Rob Wickham says, thanks, Clay. Thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. The link is pinned in the comment to the live stream and not the Discord. Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get some questions in here. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. I have a CMP exam this week for IBS. I did a high-level review, and they found an error. Should I bring my evidence with me, and what should I expect? I want to know what error they found. It's obviously a duty to assist here. Is it like a TERA exam? Because if that's the case, it's a long shot, just to be honest with you. But let's assume it's TERA. You really want to describe the level of exposure that you had. Whatever evidence you have surrounding that. So, for instance, someone who is burning, who is really pouring JP8 and stirring the barrels and burn pits and stuff like that every day, that's a lot of exposure compared to someone who slept 200 meters away for a month, okay? So it depends on what type of exposure we're talking about. That assumes we're talking TERA exam here, which is usually a long shot. But hey, it depends what the DTA error came out to be. It's free on Google. We're in 2025. What do you mean people don't know? No wonder only 33% of vets get 100%. So do I want? Okay, let's do this. All right, X777. It's funny because you mentioned that the information is free on Google, right? Because you're complaining about people asking questions that are on Google. Well, the statistic saying no wonder only 33% of vets get 100% is also not true. This is also found on Google, which tells me you really don't know how to do your research because it's on Google. Because I want to say 24% are at 100%. Those who are rated, it's about 34% of veterans who are rated completely, about 18.5 million there. So 2/3 rated, 2/3 not rated, 1/3 rated, and then 24% of those who are rated do have 100%. So your facts are kind of weird there, which makes it funny because you said it's free on Google. So we're gonna point fingers. You should look at that probably. So not every veteran knows about 38 CFR. Just the way it is. Slip to the chat. All right. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Hey, Civ, appreciate all you do here. Thank you. I don't quite know what the VA is requesting. Forms for RSV1 records if I submitted. I don't know either. Let me do some Googling. Reserve records, boom. Yeah, they're requesting your. So even if you supply your evidence, the VA, I'm assuming this is your first claim, the VA is still required to go out and get your federal records. Okay, so food for thought there. I assume that's what you're referring to here, but the DD-214 is not the only thing the VA is going to use to connect your claims. Oh, I think I missed this one. I apologize if I did. Thank you very much, Regional Valley Logistics, LLC. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. All right, I'll get this and then I'll go back to. Has anyone got experience with two claims combined? I filed one on March 24th and another on April 2nd, and no word yet on denial, but local VSO said it wasn't denied and being combined. Yeah, so you look at a closed claim. I would want to know if any of these are appeals, just to make sure. So for instance, a lot of people will submit a higher level review. They'll have their second thoughts, and then like a couple weeks later, they'll submit a supplemental claim, which you can't do. The VA will just close a supplemental claim. So that could be it. But most likely, talking initial claims, they probably just rope them bad boys together. That's it. I wouldn't think too much on that. Okay, we have some more here. Thank you very much, Fragrance Man. I appreciate that. And Regional Valley Logistics, again, no reason to do that. I don't see a chat from you. Oh, I do. I see. Okay. Let me answer Fragrance Man's and then I'll find your chats. What's the difference between TERA and presumptive claims under the PACT Act post 9/11? Great question. Okay. PACT Act claims, which is no such thing. Okay. There are just conditions covered under the PACT Act. Those conditions are presumptive. The most common sinusitis, rhinitis, asthma, IBS, COPD. There's a ton of cancers in there, and then they've added some more cancerous to the PACT Act. Those are presumptives, which means if you have a current diagnosis, you meet the time and location criteria, you are good to go. I'm going to give you a link here. That's PACT Act presumptives. You have TERA. They're different. Presumptives, TERA. TERA requires an opinion. PACT Act doesn't. They're presumptive. The VA will service connect you if you meet the criteria. For TERA, it requires an opinion. That's why they're not presumptive. So whether your opinion is, I don't know, you're exposed to asbestos, now you have some diagnosed condition, that part's key there. Your job is to show how this diagnosed condition came from your exposure of asbestos. And I'm just using asbestos as an example. It could be anything. JP8, firefighting foam, various areas, heavy particulate matter, things of that nature. Okay. So those are the difference. Now, I do want to share with you a resource here. We'll go to the Gunny Googles. Type in VA presumptive list. I'm going to link this in the chat. You don't have to follow me here. You're going to go here. Now, this thing is huge. Okay. Prisoners of war. You'll have Vietnam, atomic. Obviously, we're talking post 9/11. Right, these are your MUCMIs. Also, not presumptive. That requires an opinion, by the way. And then you have your PACT Act stuff right here. And then the definition of Southwest Asia, in addition to Afghan, Djibouti, Syria. Okay, so I'm going to link this down below. It has all presumptives. Well, as of October 22. Okay. Let's go here. Okay. Let me find Fragrance Man's chats. I'm sorry. Well, who is it? Regional Valley. All right. I know they're somewhere. How do I get the VA to schedule a new CMP exam for me for my supplemental claim? If you file a supplemental claim, it's likely that the VA is going to schedule a CMP exam. I'm just going to work on the assumption that they denied it outright and you're not going to get scheduled a new CMP exam. If that's the case, because we're talking supplemental, you have to have new and relevant evidence. Okay. I'm trying to think of any other reason why the VA wouldn't schedule you a CMP exam and deny your supplemental outright. The only thing I can think of is like they scheduled an ACE, but you want it in person. You can request that. It's a request, not a guarantee. So if you want, I have my chat up here in another window. Give me some more context around what happened. Like, did you submit your supplemental claim? Did they deny it outright? If that's the case, it's new and relevant evidence. Let me see if you have any other chats here. I don't want to miss that. Give me some more context with that, though, because that's the best answer I can give you without knowing the full extent of what's going on. Okay. I saw the sticky note also. Oh, hey. Where's this at? And can someone take a picture? Can someone take a picture of this? What sticky note are we talking about? Zombies can write chickens. Oh, yeah. It's funny. I have a VA health ID, but I've never seen a doctor at the hospital. How's one set up a first appointment? Yeah, get connected through primary care. Go to va.gov, enroll into healthcare, start the whole process. You want to do that now. I see your question, Fragrance Man. va.gov, enroll in VA healthcare, start that process. You have to go through your primary care first. You need your initial appointment with your primary care. And that's it. You are ready to go. All right. Now, Fragrance Man, who donated, has another question, so I got to answer it. So follow-on question, is joint pain presumptive? Okay. Joint pain. Let's go look at our handy list. Presumptive is the question here. So not in any of these, okay? It's not in any of these. So presumptive, no, to answer your question. However, comma, you go up to here, chronic fatigue, hardening, and fatigue, skin symptoms, headaches, muscle pain, joint pain falls under undiagnosed illness. That falls under MUCMIs. So is it presumptive? No. I want to be very clear. No, it's not. Can it be connected via MUCMI? It could. I'm going to give you the true, honest answer here. That was your technical answer. The true, honest answer is, dude, that's going to be one heck of a claim. Okay? Very, very hard claim. And I would really look at ruling out things like, okay, you have joint pain. Well, what could it have stemmed from? X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D. You're going to have to really rule all of that stuff out for someone to give the opinion that's an undiagnosed illness, which means we don't know where it came from. We know you have it. We just don't know where it came from. So is it presumptive? No. Is it a hard claim? Yes. Is it impossible? No. Is it likely? Not really. I hope that answers your question, dude. Okay. Well, thank you for being a member. Appreciate that. And I am also grateful for the mod team because I would be lost in the sauce without people answering questions and running Discord stuff. FOIA since January, is that too long? Not at all, dude. I wouldn't even think about it again until September. Not that 9-month mark. And I know that sucks, by the way. Was it at the release of Info Desk? Oh, at the Richmond VA. I'm going to walk in the Richmond VA. Next time I'm down in Richmond, which is going to be Tuesday, I'm going to see if I can poke into the VA down there. Is it supposed to be this hard to get SAH as a 100% P&T veteran? What is SAH? Oh, is it housing? Is it a company adapted housing, specially adapted housing? So 100% P&T, that's not the criteria there. It's based on your disabilities. Okay. So you could be 10% theoretically. And that 10% requires you to have a special thing for your house, like a ramp. Okay. So it just depends on what we're talking about. What I am going to do, and this is what I'm looking at, by the way. I'll link this in the chat for you. But the P&T part's irrelevant there. Oh, I will show you this, though. It says qualifying. It says the loss of use of more than one limb, the loss or loss of use of a lower leg along with residuals, blindness, certain severe burns, lower extremity. Yeah, so depends what you need it for. Oh, we answered that one. Let's go back to this live chat because y'all be crazy. Okay. Thank you for being a member, by the way. All right. If my VSO said my mental health DBQ looked favorable, do I need to worry about the rater's decision for service connection? No. No, unless you have very clear evidence that completely goes against what the CMP examiner is saying, which would be a little odd. No, you're fine. Service connection is the most important piece. The rating's the second part there. Rating's a different story. And I would be curious as to what your DBQ looks like for your rating. Okay, so I see your context here. I got to go back and answer this one. So this is, you wanted a CMP exam for a supplemental claim. I submitted a supplemental for hearing loss 2 weeks ago. Denied originally in 91. Hearing DR just did CMP for tinnitus and told me to file again. She said they made a mistake. I should have gotten it in 1991. Yeah, I don't. Are you saying that the VA isn't scheduling you a CMP exam, or they just haven't yet? Because it sounds like they just haven't yet, because this was 2 weeks ago. If that's the case, just let it ride the process. You're going to get a CMP exam. If not, let me know. Is it normal to get 3 CMP for tinnitus supplemental claim? No, it's not. That's weird. That's very weird. I would probably put the blame on the CMP examiner, but that sounds weird. For my BDD, is my doc good to put things in my record, or do I need to also be seeing an off-base specialist and doing physical therapy? Anything in your record's good, assuming it supports your claim. If you want to do physical therapy, that's a you thing. I'm not going to tell you yes or no to do that. Now, from a claim perspective, you really need to look at BDD claims differently. I'm just checking the most recent chats because some people are just saying stupid things. BDD claims are easy, okay? Most people overcomplicate them. Don't do that. Just have a list of what you're going to claim, understand your body head to toe, understand what evidence you do have and don't have, continue to fill that gap, submit the claim, let it ride out. Do not put this much thought into BDDs. That's the beauty of a BDD claim process. Now, I'm pretty sure I have a relatively recent video on this that I uploaded, I think. And maybe I did that on the website here. Most mediocre website ever, by the way. Yes, I did. Oh my goodness. The golden hour. Wow, look at that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay. Watch this video. I can put it in the chat for you. There it is in the chat. I don't know. Probably never. Okay. Chris Tonka-Lavich. Thank you for the donation. I genuinely, sincerely appreciate it. My family appreciates it. Thanks so much for you and your mods for taking the time to answer any questions. Dude, no reason to donate, but thank you. And thank you for being a member. It's a twofer there. We definitely appreciate it. And I'm telling you right now, I could not do this without the mods, so thank you to them too. And if you're wondering if I pay them, I do. Not anything life-changing, but hopefully that helps you sleep at night. Okay, Thomas Vanderclip, thank you for that. I appreciate it. If you want questions answered, I need you to just type the question if you do that. Okay. And then we have boom, nailed it. Oh, yes. Check the video out. I'm serious about this. Anything you need is in that video. Do not overcomplicate the process. BDD claim, they're precious. Okay. You're in that spot, so you need to take advantage of it, which it seems like you're on top of it. VA sent me to CMP exams for PTSD, shoulders and back, sciatic under TBI. However, they denied me for TBI and did not say anything about the previous. Okay. So you submitted multiple claims and you're going through the process, I guess. All right, I don't know what's going on here. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Mike G. Appreciate that. Thank you for this and being a member. Another twofer. Man, you guys are crazy right now. Thank you. And Manny says, what are your thoughts on the caregiver support program? Do you think they will extend the legacies? I haven't really thought, to be honest with you, I haven't really thought much on that. The previous administration really made strides to caregiver support stuff. That matters because we see this administration kind of undoing almost everything the previous one did. But we do have the word from the VA secretary that VA benefits, all VA benefits in healthcare won't be harmed, stopped. So I don't know. Is there recent news on VA caregiver support? When was that? Let me see the date on this article before I share it. No, December 5th. Well, that's not too far. So here's an example of previous administration. VA proposes rule to expand access to its program of comprehensive assistance for family caregivers. I want to know if there's anything more recent. Let me go to, oh, whoops. I clicked the wrong button. Let me go past week. Is there any indication that it's going away? Pretty strong language there. Let me look up caregiver. Harder to access. Okay. I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know what my thoughts are on that. All right. Sorry, we spent a lot of time there. If you have anything new on that, let me know. All right. I don't quite know what the VA is. Oh, we answered that one. Thank you for being a member. It says PSYOPs at the VA info desk, pre-printed TheCivDiv QR sticky notes. Start with the Richmond VA hospital. Yo, I want to know who is this person, because now I want to go to the Richmond VA hospital and just walk in there and say hi. And thank you to whoever that is. Outlaw, what's up? How's it going? Do you know anything about MEB-IDES? Yeah, it's a VA claim process. The MEB part sucks. The VA claim process is actually pretty solid. Whoa, we got a big one here. If so, if I got conditions added to my initial claim, do you think that could increase my proposed rating? I'm going to assume you mean VA rating. Of course, the answer is yes. DOD rating, not so much. That's not my lane. But long story short, yes. That's the EP is endpoint. Okay. If my memory is right, it's endpoint. It's an M21 thing. Okay. Thank you, dude. Whoa. Seriously. Vien Alfthavong. Butchered that one. Thank you so much. This always makes me feel weird. I appreciate it, dude. My family appreciates it, especially because I do this full time now, so it matters. It really matters. Thank you. Okay, hi. Just met with my accredited VSO. He put in supplemental for all my denied claims from 2015 because they didn't say no diagnosis, just not caused by service. Okay, so you have evidence from service. I'm going to assume your VSO is solid. And since you had evidence from service, you went ahead and submitted those. That you might want to explore a lawyer route because it seems like that claim was super easy. There's probably more to it than that, but it would at least be worth a double check there. Okay, where's Dre? Got a DT error after HLR on the 8th. Can I expect CMP exam? Maybe. So DTA error. Okay, duty to assist. It would be really awesome if the VA told you, the veteran, what the duty to assist error actually was. Sometimes you'll see DTA errors and they'll kick it off to a TERA exam, which is essentially just being denied again. It's a long shot. Or it could be something in the process went wrong. Maybe some evidence was skipped, right? So it depends on what kind of DTA error we're talking about. Most errors, I would say, at least from my perspective, do end up with another CMP exam, whether that's in person or it's an ACE. So can you expect a CMP exam? I think so. But again, it depends on what your error is for to begin with. 30%. Oh, Eric Manila, thank you very much. Appreciate that. 30% for migraines. They said that doesn't have effect on my financial and social life enough for it to be 50. But I have FMLA leave for my job for the conditions of that evidence. Yes, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. Yes, for sure. It's amazing evidence. It's very strong evidence. Assuming that it stems from your migraines, okay? Not from like a sick child or another sickness. It's got to be from migraines. I want to go for a scheduler 100 instead of IU, but my former lawyer says it's a bad idea. I don't. What say you? Okay. So IU people are different, and I'm going to start my suggestion a certain way for a certain reason, just so you know. IU people, if you are thinking about working, that's the only reason you would want to do this. If you're thinking about working, here's the answer. You should not be on TDIU. That's my opinion. I'm saying it that way because people go to prison over this. We actually had one on this channel. People go to prison over this exact thing right here. So if you're thinking about working, that tells me you can work. That also tells me you shouldn't be on TDIU. So I would actually say the opposite of what your lawyer is saying. Now, I'm saying that based on this comment alone. I don't have VBMS access. I don't know you. I don't know your situation. I know nothing about you other than this comment. So you have to figure that out for yourself. But in my opinion, if you're thinking about working, that means you can. And if you are going to go back to work, do what you need to do on the VA side, submit more claims, let them know that you're working, and be under the assumption that you're not going to reach 100%. And if you're not okay with that, then don't. Hope that makes sense. Reese, thank you for the super sticker. It doesn't show here. I'm on StreamYard, but I see it on YouTube. It's got the hype, the hippo thing. I definitely appreciate that. Wow. Okay. The DTA error was because the rater didn't consider my medical evidence for mental health or sleep apnea. Yeah. Solid. Okay. Now, if the sleep apnea secondary would probably be an ACE, most are. I'm assuming you're going secondary. If you're looking for service connection for mental health, that's probably going to end up being a CMP exam, whether in person or telehealth. Tele-exam, not telehealth, excuse me. So I still think the answer to your question is yes, if you should expect a CMP exam. Even if it's an ACE, it's still a CMP exam. Hi, Clay. Have you done a video on TERA for non-combat? I have. Let me actually go search that for you. I know exactly what the thumbnail looks like, so I just got to find it. CivDiv t-shirts, by the way, on the most mediocre CivDiv Amazon shop. Good quality shirts, but okay. Let's go here. This was boom, boom, boom. It was before I started doing my new thumbnail styles. It's in my old thumbnail styles. MUCMI, MUCMI, MUCMI. Oh, that's not that one. I have one specific to TERA exams. Hold on. Right here. Boom. Hope that helps. Okay. Wild, dude. Still, I can't believe it. Thank you. All right, we have a new member, CJ. Thank you for being a member. Make sure you download Discord, join our server. Members for sure, link to your accounts. Non-members, you can still join the Discord, and all the stuff will be there anyways. Okay, when protecting claims for future VA reviews, the first part of that sentence is like makes an implication, and I'll talk about that too. Is my primary care provider enough, or should I go to the VA doctors and or VA facilities? So, a couple of things. One, if you don't have a scheduled future, when you are service connected, there's many things that happen, but within this, there's two paths. The rater assigns static, or they assign a routine future exam, and you're going to know which one it is, okay? Or you're going to know if it's a routine future exam. If you want to know static, you can use the API stuff that I did last week. One of the two, okay? If you don't have a routine future exam, those conditions that are static, they're not protected. Just full stop right there. They're not protected. People keep saying they are. They're not. Under that 5-year mark, the VA can still do whatever they want if they wanted to. After the 5-year mark, there's got to be some evidence. They can still do it, but they got to do it with some evidence, okay? That's really what the 5-year rule is, static or not. People keep saying static is protection. It's not. They're stupid. They're regurgitating what they hear on the internet. Don't listen to them. So for you, when protecting claims for future VA reviews, I'm just going to say you either have a routine future exam or you have claims that you're worried about within the 5-year window, okay? 1. 2, yes, seek healthcare, especially if you have a routine future exam. You need to seek healthcare. You need to build evidence. That's key because the VA is going to use evidence against you to lower your rating. You need to use evidence against the VA, so to speak, or for yourself to either maintain or get an increase. Who knows? All right. So food for thoughts. There's your answer on static. People get static wrong because they just kind of they just regurgitate what they hear. They don't understand what they're saying. So, anyways, there you go. There's your static spiel. It's not what you think it is. That's a good video idea. Hold on, I gotta mark that down. Static ratings are not what you think they are. Boom. Okay. Had a question for TheCivDiv. You're on the right stream. I had filed for my PTSD. We did one questionnaire, had a CMP exam. They asked for a second 781. Can they go back 20 years for records? Yeah. Okay. Especially PTSD, you're looking at in-service stressors. They're going to be looking for the stressor event. That's wild, Shane. They're going to be looking for the stressor event. I assume is what you're talking about here. The VA is going to go back to whatever is relevant, whether that's yesterday, 20 years ago, or 40 years ago. What's weird about PTSD with other claims that have a huge time gap, like 20 years, PTSD is actually easier to connect than most other conditions, especially like a fear-based, like your life was truly threatened. Those claims are a lot easier than you think they are. Food for thought. A banger of a donation here. I see the super sticker thing, the dude flying around. I don't know if you guys like choose those or if they're random. I'm not sure, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Shane. Met Shane at the VA Claim Clinic. There's another one this year, by the way. Everyone should go to the VFW's VA Claim Clinic. I need to do videos on that to start pumping out that word. VA Claim Clinic. Okay. Rob, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I don't see oh, I do. It would be easier if you want a question answered on a donation just to put it in the same thing. I'll find it if you don't, but it makes my life a little hard. Not that anyone cares. Okay. Let's go to Shane's first. It says, great news. Last week hit 100% PNT with SMCs. Congrats to you. Appreciate that, dude. I hope that that VA Claim Clinic came in clutch for a lot of people. So if you're curious as to whether you should go, the answer is yes. Rob, here we go. Thank you for being a member. So I have in-service events. I see that. I have in-service events for my knee in 93, 94, 95. Discharge 95, 98, and 99. Knee surgery. Denied claim due to chronicity. Yep. Continuity of symptoms. Knee replacement, next action. Why life statement helpful and closing time gap. Yes, it is. I would also look at, I'm curious if your evidence from 98 and 99 was private. And if that's the case, I would submit that with your, I'm assuming the VA doesn't have that. And I would submit anything you have from 95 to right now. Whatever you have that fills that gap, statements, lay statements. I've had a veteran upload receipts for prescribed medications before because they couldn't get a hold of their private records from that long ago. I mean, think outside the box if you have to. Anything to fill in that gap. And that is what you do a supplemental with. We do have a comment. Clay, more teaser info about one-on-ones in May. Your adoring fans are waiting. Yeah. May 5th, we're going to do a huge announcement. A lot of people are going to be mad. A lot of people are going to be happy about it. One-on-ones are coming. Don't worry. Wait for that news because you might be a happy one. You might be a not so happy one. Who knows? I need to pull up the live again. For some reason, it messed up. Yeah, so stay tuned until May 5th on that. All right, let's go back up. Oh, hold on, we had another one. David Dottie, thank you for the 100% P&T. Thanks for all the info again. Keep it up. Hope this helps with diapers. Yes, we need size 5 and size 4 at the moment. Okay, maybe some adult diapers here soon if I don't get my IBS in check. The adult diaper thing was a joke, by the way. Okay. PDM simplifies. Says I've been 100% P&T since 2017. Solid, dude. You're about to hit that 10-year mark too. All right. Frank Cook says, want to put in for mental health increase at 50. How can I for sure that my medical records reflect that? Okay. Kind of a hard question because there's subjectivity with mental health ratings from examiner to examiner and from provider to provider. When I say examiner, I'm talking VBA legal process, provider healthcare process. There's subjectivity. But I'm going to link a video for you, actually. One of my most popular ones. And videos, popular, this one, 203,000. That's pretty cool. These are going to be your, I'm going to do this in air quotes because it's not the technical answer, but it's the real answer. Your real 70% mental health symptoms. And that video I just shared, if they apply to you, and just so you know, fraud's real, but if they apply to you, you need to express that to your provider. They are definitely things you want treatment for. So food for thought, man. CJ, new member here. Thank you. Appreciate that. Says 70% adjustment with anxiety, depression, so mental health. Last VA appointment a year ago. I was asked if I felt depressed. I said no. CMP for an increase soon. What? So I'm gonna imply a lot here. If you're saying you put an increase on mental health at 70, I wouldn't have recommended that just based on what I know here, that you don't feel depressed according to this. If you're saying you put an increase on another claim, fine, don't worry about it. And then depression is episodic, right? Someone who's depressed isn't depressed all the time. If they are, that's going to lead to suicide. It's going to lead to other things, okay? Most depression, at least like from what I see in my friends, it's episodic. We have these really, really mountaintop highs, man, and we're just crushing it. But dude, when we hit a low, we get that episodic depression. It's a steep decline into that depressive mode. This is kind of a cycle, right? So I wouldn't sweat it too hard. Now, if you put an increase in for mental health, that's a different story. And again, I don't know you. So, okay. A new member, Mr. Hello All. I appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome to the club. Make sure you join the Discord. Everyone should join, but members for sure. Rob, thank you. Again, I appreciate that. I care and will do better on the questions. Oh, you're fine. Dude, that wasn't directed to you. That was to everyone. I care and will do better. Questions is 98.99 surgery for private, and I had submitted with claim. Okay, so they did have that evidence. I would still look at all evidence from 95 to right now. Really plug in that gap, that hole. You don't need continuity of care, okay? You clearly had some serious knee conditions that led to a replacement or surgeries, excuse me. Now you're getting a replacement now. So it's there. You just need to fill in those gaps. So what is your knee care, whether formal healthcare or self-care? What does that look like? Did you wear a brace? Did you buy a brace from CVS and wear it? Was it prescribed? Right? Really do everything in your power to fill in that gap. What do you think the chances are reevaluating my prostate cancer from Agent Orange and lowering my disability payments? I'm not a prostate cancer expert person, but I can tell you that if it's, does that go in remission? Is that a remission thing? Does prostate cancer go into remission? After you've been treated for prostate cancer, the disease will likely go into remission. Yes, to answer your question. And you could be cancer-free for a long time. So yeah. I mean, straight up, the answer is yes. That falls within that unusual circumstance. Lila, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hold on. We got a problem. What are you doing? Water? No, don't do that, Lila. No. No, we don't need water. That's not a toy. It's not a toy. That's not a toy, dude. Oh my goodness. What? Yeah, I know. You can't play with water, okay? You drink it. Yeah, you drink it. It's not a toy. Thank you. All right. Kids, dude. Kids. Okay. If you're not TDIU, you can work 1 billion hours a week. I don't care. And the VA doesn't care either. If you're TDIU, that matters. Even volunteer hours matter. All right. It's almost at that hour mark. Okay. I'm going to scroll down. See if there's any crazy questions that really need answering. I'll answer the next 5 questions that come up after this. I'm going to answer, and then I'm going to peace out, okay? All right. I'm not sure if I should file HLR or submit lay statements from my family and file a supplemental claim. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you donated, didn't you? Oh no, you're the new member. I'm interested in your opinion. I recently was denied certificate for PTSD, had a diagnosis from the VA, and I've been being treated via Symptom. You have a DBQ IMO from Dr. Sharma. I would do an HLR. Out the gate, I would do an HLR. Especially for PTSD, looking at your in-service stressor event, I do want to know why you were denied in the first place. But because I know Dr. Sharma, I know he's not an idiot, and your in-service stressor should absolutely suffice. if you went that route. Okay, that was one. This one won't count because it's paid. I put a TDIU claim for 70% mental health and other disabilities, and reason rated they 100% for mental health and also P&T. Hey, dude, that's awesome. Congrats. It sounds like you may have some SMCs there as well if you're talking about 100% just for mental health. So should everyone use a VSO? If so, how do you find a good one? That's a loaded question there. I think the answer is yes. Even if you don't use them to submit your claims, you can still have them if you want to use them. So do the power of attorney. You can lean on them, especially if you have a solid one that's all in VBMS access and they're easily accessible to you. The answer is yes. Not everyone has that luxury. Okay. VSOs are not. Their skill level is not equal. I'll show you where to find one. It's super easy. I'll put this down below too. You just Google OGC VA accreditation. I'm not going to type this up because it's going to auto-populate for me, and I don't want you knowing my personal information. But you just click VSO representative here. There's claims agent and attorneys if you look at denials. And then you, this is not your name, but you can do city, state, your postal code, wherever you live at. It's going to auto-populate my postal code, by the way. But yeah, so let me put this in the chat for you. VSO search. Super easy to use. That's 2. Here's 3. Is there a cap on how much money you can make if you are 100% P&T? Nope. You can make $1 million every day and still be 100% P&T. So, hope that answers your question. The only income limit, the only one is IU. I guess there's pension as well, but we're talking disability claims. So 1, 2, 3, here's 4. I recently got 70% for depressive disorder. As a result of the depression, I gained weight to where I'm obese, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and diagnosed sleep apnea. Should I file secondary? If your obesity did stem from depression, especially medication, I think you have a solid argument. These claims here are definitely ways to increase your rating. If you're at 100%, probably not. I don't know if you're 70 overall or 70% just for mental health, right? So assuming you're not 100%, I'm going to say yes. I had an ACE exam of live CMP for migraine increase, submitted migraine log. However, did not include severity of attacks. Wonder if I should do personal statement now. I'm hoping you're on like prescribed medication or a treatment plan because that would lend credibility to how severe they are. But there's no hurt in submitting a personal statement. All right. All right. I think this is the last one, and that I'll skim to see if there's any crazy questions too. Should I be concerned that my lawyer continues to bring that up? My claims will be paid with back pay. I don't know what you're talking about. Generally, the answer is going to be no. Okay, we'll do another one. Change for migraines back pay to 95, have 91 references in several treatment records, and 95 CMP exam, report list migraine diagnosis. Ask a lawyer. There's no way I can talk about Qs. Qs are rare. They're hard to prove. People will tell you they're easy. They're not. Okay. But going back to 95, that's at least worth speaking to a VA lawyer about. Like that's what they're for. Okay. All right, last question here. I am 80% out in for migraines and sleep apnea. Had diagnosis for both, got DBQ and Nexus for both, and denied any advice. I'm trying to decipher what you're saying. I am 80% out in for migraine and sleep apnea and had diagnosis for both. You had a Nexus letter and DBQ. Sleep apnea, I'm going to assume that was secondary. Oh, what can I do right now? What I really want you to do is hop on Discord so I can ask you a lot of questions. Assuming your migraines were secondary and your sleep apnea is secondary, and you have a Nexus letter, assuming it's good, actual insufficient on your DBQ, HLR is not a bad idea. But then again, I'm not looking at your decision letter. I don't even know if these are secondary to begin with. I don't know if these are direct. So I'm really reaching in the dark here. Okay. Hop on Discord. I'm going to ask you like 10 different questions. All right. Last one, VetCom or VSO. That's a you decision. Okay. If you went a VSO route and if you're in rural Arkansas, your VSO suck, then hey, maybe you want to consider using VetCom. At the same time, if you have a amazing VSO, VetCom is going to tell you to use your VSO. Okay. Food for thought there. So it's not what does YouTube say, one or the other. It's not one or the other. It's situational to you. How much effort are you willing to put in the game? And the lower that effort is, the more you're going to tend to go with companies like VetCom. VetCom is a great company. Okay, they help veterans all the time. I obviously promote them. Jason from Veterans Info Tap promotes them. So there's nothing predatory there. Okay, that's all I got. I got kids to deal with. Thank you for coming to the stream. There's no questions. There's no stream. Thank you for asking every question. We answered a lot, not all of them. I try to get to all of them. We had a ton of donations today. Look at all these, dude. Let me go through them all. This is insane. I'm forever grateful. I never know what to say. Okay. I just quit my job. I'm doing YouTube full time now. So this stuff really matters to my family. So I appreciate it. And with that, that's all I got. Thank you very much.